Hey Stampers, welcome to Brandy's Cards. I am so excited, the holidays are coming up. So it's time for a 10 and 20 Christmas card. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to show you how to make a really simple and fun Christmas card. We're going to make several of them. We'll make 10 of them. And you know, it's really not about how fast you make it, but it's more about showing you how you can mass produce cards in a fairly short amount of time. Now the card that we're going to make here today, you can see it here in front of me, and I used the Festive Flurry framelits along with the Festive Flurry stamp set. So this is a fantastic, I really like this stamp set, and it is in your holiday catalog. So if you guys would like a catalog, let me know. I'll be happy to get you one of those. But the Festive Flurry stamp set does come in a bundle, so it is a fantastic way to purchase that. Okay, so basically what I've got here is I've got all of my materials. They are cut and they are prepared. Now, why did I do that? Well, because I know that I can't do all of that in 20 minutes for you guys. But what you really want to see is how I did the card, how I stamped the card, how we've cut things out, of course, and how we've put it together. That's really what's most important. And then, of course, the idea at the end. So this is the card that we're going to make, although I decided to change it up a little bit. I couldn't really decide if I liked it with it stamped in red and then cut out with a framelit, or if I liked it stamped with red on red and then cut out with a framelit. So since I liked them both, I decided to let's go ahead and do it the second way, since you've got this example here in front of you. Always great to have more ideas. So we're going to go ahead, and I think we're going to go ahead and get started. All right, so as I said earlier, I am just going to cut out one snowflake for you. And so what I have here is some silver foil paper. This stuff is fantastic. I've got my magnetic platform, which I love. I'm going to go ahead and cut one snowflake. It's the biggest snowflake out of my Stampin' Up! Foil paper. And I'm just running this through the Big Shot. And yes, it does kind of sound like bones cracking, but it's not, I promise you. And so we're gonna punch or pop out that silver foil. I like to keep all my scraps too. You just never know when you might need those. The next thing we're gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and stamp in red. I've got red, real red ink. And I've just chosen one of my snowflakes, probably the medium-sized one. I'm just going to stamp it straight down and straight up, and it's a beautiful image. And then right back on my platform, and you know what? This magnetic platform is the bomb. Let me just tell you, it is awesome. The reason is, you know, I have done many stamp camps and classes, and this thing just makes it so easy to, you know, stamp an image and then pop it right out. I mean, it is just awesome. So I am excited that I have one of those. Okay, the next thing is this fantastic foil aluminum tape. Oh my gosh, it is like so awesome. So I love this aluminum tape. I have a square lattice folder here. It's an embossing folder from Stampin' Up! I've just taken and put a strip of tape on Whisper white paper. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change platforms here really quick. And then after that, I am all done and I will get started for you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to run my tape through, and the reason is I wanted that texture for my top snowflake. You'll see the top snowflake has that fabulous texture. So look at that. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. All right, I do have one more snowflake to cut out, that top snowflake. So I'm going to bring the Big Shot, the magnetic platform back one more time. And so you've got the smallest little snowflake, and you'll see I'm just going to position it right here in the middle of the tape, and it cuts out great. Now, why did I put it on Whisper white paper first? Well, because I wanted to pop it up. So if I wouldn't have done that, then it would be tape, right? And tape is going to lay flat. I didn't want it to lay flat. I wanted it to sit up with dimension. That's why I put it on Whisper white paper. All right, so like I said earlier, I have everything cut, everything ready, and I am ready to get started. So what I've got is I actually have 10 Whisper white sheets here, and I'm going to have all the sizes and dimensions on brandyscards.com. So don't worry, I promise you I will share those with you. And you can see exactly the sizes and everything. And I'm just kind of folding everything in half. Of course, you can use a bone folder. It definitely makes it easier to get that perfect line. I find that I work a lot faster just using my fingers. So if any of y'all have gotten a card from me and maybe it's a little bit on the crease, well, yes, I am not good at using my bone folder, but it is a fantastic tool. All right, so I find I'm in the rush a lot of times. Maybe that's why I enjoy doing these 10 and 20s, you know, I don't know. But all right, so now what I've got is I've got some real red cardstock. Now I've already pre-cut this cardstock, and I have an example here next to me. So I'm just gonna lay this down. And the reason that I'm gonna do that is I kind of wanna see exactly where I'm gonna tear it. Now when I tear, I use my finger as kind of the guide, and I tear towards myself. Now why do I do that? Because I love that look. And I know many of you who, if you've watched my YouTube channel before and you've seen some of my classes, you guys know that I am a huge fan of simplicity. I like, you know, I like to use the tools that I have to make magic, but you know, it is great to have all of those other goodies too, but I'm a big fan of just tearing and keeping it simple. So right now what I'm doing is I am going to tear 10 sheets of these for you. And then we'll move on to the next step. Of course, then we got to glue them down. Now, one thing that you could do instead of tossing away the remainder, if you wanted to, you could actually glue this piece like right underneath the already torn edge, you know, and then you kind of get like another layer. So that would be really cool too. But for time's sake, we got to keep this moving, and I'm not going to do that today. But you can definitely save this red paper, and I know that there will be something that you could do with it down the road. All right, so I've just got a couple more sheets here, and then I'm going to pull in my Tombow adhesive. Now, a lot of you have asked me, I get emails almost daily, and they're like, Brandy, why do you use Tombow versus snail? You know what, I love snail. I truly do. I think it's a fantastic product. And now I know you guys are going, well, if you like it, why don't you use it? Well, I don't use it because I feel like I work faster with the Tombow, the liquid glue. I feel like I work faster with it. Another reason why I like it so much is when I stick paper down, you know, you still have a second or so to maneuver that paper, to kind of wiggle that paper into place. I find that with this snail, you kind of stick it, it's stuck. But I also feel like with this snail, it doesn't stay stuck as long, or maybe it starts to fall apart after a while. So I find that the Tombow for me just works beautifully, and I just really, really like it. Now, one thing is when you start using the Tombow glue, ladies or gentlemen, be sure just to realize that, you know, there is a slight learning curve. And what I mean by that is I've had a few classes in the past where I was like, okay, Tombow, and the ladies have like absolutely glued themselves to the table. And they're like, by the end of the class, they're like, seriously, what is this stuff? And I'm like, well, you know, you just gotta have finesse, you know, you don't want big goopy lines. You just wanna keep it nice and thin. And I promise you, if you give it a good, honest effort, and just play with it a little bit, you will like it too. And I feel like I just work faster. It's some really good stuff. So that is why I choose this versus snail. The snail is fantastic, and I know that I know a lot of folks like to use that. I almost just like stuck that. See, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, I'm getting this stuck down. We're just kind of moving through these really fast. And then I'm excited to show you my snowflake. All right, so we've got a couple more to stick down here. Oh my gosh, I just love this. Now, let me tell you, I played with this card and played with it, and I tried it in so many different colors. I tried it in grays, and I tried it in blues, and I don't know, I just really liked the red. I really liked the red. It was fun, it's festive, and you know, I don't know. I think that, you know, at home, you know, use any color that you have. Do not feel like you have to stick to real red, because that's what I've done. There are so many combinations that you can do, and I hope that you play with them. And and I'd love for you guys to leave me a comment and let me know what you try. I would really, I'm going to have 20 cards here, and I'd love nothing more than to send several of you some cards. I'll send you a card and say hi, and so just leave me a comment, and then what I'll do is I'll just pick, a few random comments, and I will go back and ask you for your address, and I will send you a card. And of course, if you need a catalog or anything, let me know. Be happy to send those at that time. All right, so here, this foil paper, have you guys used it? It is awesome, good stuff. We've got it in gold too. Yeah, it is really cool. So what I'm gonna do is I have my handy dandy Stampin' Dimensionals. These things also rock. And now that I have Tombow stuck to my fingers, it doesn't wanna come off. So now what I'm gonna do is I am just gonna stick my silver piece down, see that? And we're gonna just start the layering process. Now there are all kinds of ways that you can do this, okay? You could totally just layer up all of your snowflakes and then stick them down, or you can do them like I'm doing it. It doesn't matter. And to be quite honest with you, if I were to do it again tomorrow, I very well might layer the snowflakes up before I stick them down. I think it's just kind of how you feel and how it just sort of happens. That's one thing I always tell you guys is that, there's no right or wrong way to do it really, and there's always going to be another way. It's just what works for you. This works for me, okay? So this is the foil paper. I would have loved to have cut this snowflake out of this aluminum tape here that I've purchased at a home improvement store, but it's not thick enough. I don't know if they make them any thicker or not, but if they did, I'd be all over it. But it is really cool stuff. But I have used everything from aluminum flashing to aluminum tape to some sticky stuff that they put on windowsills. I don't know. But those of you that were in my crafting class, you know what I'm talking about. That stuff was sticky. It was messy. Yeah, I had to clean my cutting board really good with some Goo Gone stuff after that. Needless to say, we won't be going back to that again, that textile. We're going to stick with the stuff here that's low maintenance, okay? I highly recommend that for y'all too. All right, so for those of you that have seen some of my other 10 and 20s, well, I just recently had my Stampin' Getaway, and I was really excited about it. It was a lot of fun, and I purchased a card box, one of the gift card boxes for all those ladies, and I ran out, so I couldn't show you how a fun way to package these. I really wanted to, and I certainly could have made a box, but my thought was to make one of these fabulous snowflakes and stick it right down on the top of that. And you could put a tag hanging off, and this would be a perfect gift. I just think the snowflake would be stunning on the top of one of those Uline gift boxes. All right, so as you can see here, we just have our foil down, and now we're gonna move on to our red. So it might be just as easy to go ahead and we'll just flip these over like such. And there's 6, 7, 8, and there is 9 and 10. So let's just get some Stampin' Dimensionals on here. How many do you need? Well, you don't want to go Stampin' Dimensional crazy. I usually put 1 or 2. You could put more if you'd like. You probably don't need any more than that though, but you certainly can use more. And we're just sticking these down really quickly. There's no rhyme or reason to it. And then we're gonna stick them and layer them to the top of our cards. Now you guys, I know you're wondering, oh, she actually cut some. Are you not gonna use the ones that I cut? Well, that's actually number 11. See, there you go, isn't that good? That's number 11, and I did not cut any extra paper for that number 11. I just wanted to show you how I did it, so that way at home you could recreate it. That was my thought process on that. So that's why I cut that, and again, I'm going to be placing another order for my boxes, and I very well may use that for the top of my box. All right, so we're going to continue to put all of these down. And then we're gonna move on to the, ooh, that is so pretty. Let me just tell you, it is so pretty. I love this. Love it, love it, love it. So now while I'm doing this, I have to tell you, have you guys seen the Festive Flurry kit that's that Stampin' Up! Is selling right now? Oh my gosh, mine came on Saturday and I haven't had the chance to play with it and it is killing me. I'm so excited. I've heard nothing but wonderful things about how beautiful it is. And I do have the video online, so if you'd like to look at my video that Stampin' Up! had done on showing how to put it together, rock solid, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, so here we go. I'm gonna set the last one down, and now we're gonna move to our silver, and we're just gonna put a Stampin' Dimensional on the back of this one. Probably just put one. I don't think you really need any more than that. It just, you know, turn them all over, stick a Stampin' Dimensional on the back, and then we're gonna start layering these right on top of our card. And then we are well on our way. Now, what color, as you're looking at my, my example, you're probably thinking, now what color exactly is that? That is smoky slate. Yeah, it is really pretty, right? So I love that smoky slate. I haven't played with it as much as I'd like. So that's why I was really excited to pull it out. It kind of gives me that, you know, it's kind of cold and I don't know, that snowflakey feel, I suppose. And then I guess the, I felt like the silver and the foil really complemented it well. So I'm just sticking the center piece down. You know, no rhyme or reason to it, just sticking it in the center. You certainly could tweak it and you could, you know, you could make sure that it's off center and it's a certain way, but you know, it doesn't really bother me. Each one is unique and that's what I like. I like that a lot. So now we're gonna go on and we're gonna stamp, oops, excuse me, we're gonna stamp our greeting. Now I have the greeting out of the Joy to the World stamp set. Really nice stamp set, like it a lot. It's also in our holiday mini. And there we go, let's see here. Christmas wishes, okay. To make sure it wasn't upside down. Now you're probably wondering, see that? Yeah, love it. You're probably wondering what these lines are on top of my card. These are grid lines, and Stampin' Up! Sells these grid lines that you can put on top of your cards, and I really like them. You know, I've seen other demonstrators use them, and I had never purchased them. And then one day I thought, you know what, I am gonna give that a try. Yeah, they're awesome. And the reason it's awesome is because you can totally see if you're stamping straight. That's right, you can totally line your clear stamp up with it and you can see if you're stamping it straight. And that is worth its weight, let me just tell you. So, okay, so I've got my greeting on all of these, so we'll set that aside. Now what I've done is I have, and you could do either, you know, either or, but you could stamp another flower, and then I just used my little flower punch, and I punched out these cute little flowers, and I'm gonna use some, I'm gonna use my mini glue dots, and I'm just gonna put one mini glue dot behind each flower. Now, do you need that? Not necessarily. I also have punched, for the card I think that you guys can see in the camera, I punched another piece of the silver foil paper and I put that on there and I thought that was really pretty too. You know, so sometimes I get tripped up thinking one way is better than the other, but quite honestly, I think it's all awesome. It's just, you know, it just kind of depends. Just go with the flow. I don't think it really matters. So I'm just sticking the flower down. Looks like I've got about 3 or 4 left, and then we'll be good. Now, what do you stick in the center? Well, there's all kinds of great embellishments to stick in the center. And again, that is personal preference. I tried to use the new beautiful accents that Stampin' Up! Is selling. Oh, the name of those have just left me. But they're in the holiday mini. They kind of look like a star. They've got a beautiful rhinestone in the middle, stunning. Those were pretty, but I felt like it was fighting with the snowflake because I felt like the snowflake itself was beautiful. And I kind of felt like that took away from my snowflake. So, you know, just play with it, see what you think. You know, I also thought about putting maybe just a silver brad in the center. But then what I ended up doing is putting this cute little flower from the Itty Bitty Punches I basically stamped the flower, and then I put that on there. And in the center of this, if you would like to, you can stick a jewel rhinestone. Of course, pearls work too, but I just thought, you know, Christmas is sparkly and the holidays are glittery, and so I just really liked jewel rhinestones. So we're going to go ahead and go with the Mac Daddy. We're going to go with the biggest one. Check that out. So pretty. I love it. And I like to use my scissors. You can use a poker tool if you'd like, but I like to use my scissors. You want to make sure that you get underneath there. You get that dot, you know, that mini glue dot that's under there. Stick that right there in the center. I love it. So I hope you guys are enjoying today's card and today's 10 and 20. I'm really excited. I always get excited to bring these to you. I have a lot of fun making them. It's a challenge for me too, let me tell you, because I talk a lot, as y'all know. It's hard for me to come up for air, but it's all good. It's all good. So I just enjoy bringing these to you, and I hope that you guys enjoy them just as much as I do. If you guys want to leave me a comment, please do that. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear suggestions for some other cards that you might like to see, and I will pick a few of my viewers. I will email you through YouTube and ask you for your address, and then I will send you a card, okay, and wish you happy holidays. All right, so that completes our 10 and 20 holiday card with the Festive Flurry stamp set. I just think there's so many things that you can do with it. Don't forget to stamp your envelope. You can stamp your envelope. You could do red snowflakes, or you could do anything that you'd like, of course. But the envelope stamped would be fantastic, and I think anybody who would receive one of these cards would really enjoy that. So thank you guys for joining me today, and I hope you have a festive day.